Basketball.
Basketball. Welcome back to Bad Boys, your one-stop shop for all your energy drink reviews. I'm Brian.
I'm Christian.
And we are...
The Bet Boys.
Yay!
Hey!
Today we
got a good one today.
I'm so excited for this. This is one of my top two energy drinks I think I've had, at least on flavor-wise, of all time. I had one the other day. It was absolutely fantastic. I was like, we got to review this. We got to get this out there. Rain Sour Gummy Worm. Now, previously I was a huge fan of the Sour Gummy Bear, or the White Gummy Bear, Sour White Gummy Bear.
Yep,
I thought that tasted great. Between that and like the raspberry, and they used to have a lemon drop flavor that they discontinued. I was like, Rain, when they came onto the scene, I was like, they have such great flavors. The cherry limeade was good until I had the Ghost Cherry Limeade. I thought that was the best one. I was like, this is great. And then this came out. I saw it on Instagram that they did a press release for it. Immediately sent it to Christian. I was like, yo, we gotta try this. Found one at a gas station, tried it, fell in love with it immediately. Now I've been trying to get a hold of one because that gas station ran out. Couldn't get it at Walmart, couldn't get it at the grocery store, and was just rifling. And then on my way home today, I was like, all right, I'm gonna grab a snack. I'll go to the gas station and see. And I went in there and I was like walking by the cooler. I was like, let's just see if they have anything weird. Saw it in there, immediately grabbed it. I was like, we're good to go. Let's ride, baby. Yeah. So I'm super hyped. Rain is it's super big in like Arnold, bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman community. I think they sponsor Thor.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're the high caffeine content, 300 milligrams of caffeine. They do have BCAAs, you see that a lot, but they do have the coenzyme Q10 or CoQ10, which is going to be a nootropic in there, and then you have some electrolytes in there. Really focused on a performance blend based energy drink. So it's not necessarily a pre-workout, but it can be used as a pre-workout. It's only 10 calories. Great in there. Like I said, 300 milligrams of caffeine. I love the look of the can. It's very simple. It's astute. And they brand it based off of whatever, or they color it on the branding based on whatever the flavor is. So obviously this is the pink and blue gummy worm that you see in like a trolley kind of bag.
Yep. I like the blackout can that they kind of do for all their flavors.
It's gorgeous. It's so simple, but it does the job.
It looks clean.
And they always do the the tab as well. They color that differently. So similar to Monster. They came out of the scene, gotta be what? 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, more of a more recent company, but
and they've been killing it ever since. I mean,
I like the texture of the can too.
Yeah,
it's subtle, but
they texturize the front of the can. Ooh, that's a nice little rivulet, little sand grain pattern. It's a 60 grit right there. But I think it looks good. They taste great. They have a high performance energy blend when it comes through. Like I said, the CoQ10, the 300 milligrams of caffeine. You're gonna drink one and you're gonna feel energized
for sure,
which is a nice thing. And there is that stigma with caffeine. Like, does it actually give you energy, or does it just cover up the receptor in your brain where the magnesium kind of opens that up and you can feel tired? Obviously, we know that caffeine doesn't give you energy. It just removes that tired feeling by covering up that receptor in the brain. But this does a fantastic job with that.
Yep.
And it's natural caffeine.
It is natural caffeine, grown from the tree.
Says so on the can, just like a Miller Lite. It's a fine Pilsner. Says so on the can.
Yep. You just pick it from the rain tree,
and
go to the rain patch,
put it in
natural.
the can. There it is.
Right from the ground. Yeah. Pretty standard on the label. 10 calories. 3 grams of carbs, but no sugar. 200 milligrams of sodium, so maybe slightly higher than you would find on similar energy drinks.
I don't mind that, though. I like having the salt in there.
A little bit of salt's not a bad thing. Your standard B vitamins there. Don't really care about those, to be quite honest.
Gonna pee them out.
Yep. Caffeine. Get some L-leucine, get some isoleucine, valine, like they say, the branched chain amino acids. Sucralose, the main sweetener in there. Other than that, pretty standard. Potassium citrate, sorbate, coenzyme. The CoQ10 is pretty far down on the list. Not really sure what the most efficacious dose is for that anyway, but
I can look it up.
Definitely less than 300 milligrams. Caffeine's pretty far up there on the list. So again, when it's a proprietary blend and they don't list out each ingredient, they have to list it on the label in kind of descending order. So carbonated water is obviously going to be number one on the list because this whole thing, the base of it is carbonated water. And then the further down on the list, the less of that there is. So we can kind of infer from that, since there's 300 milligrams of caffeine, they are required to tell you how much caffeine is in the beverage. So 300 milligrams of caffeine, stuff that comes after that is probably going to be less than 300 milligrams. Stuff that comes before it, more than 300 milligrams. So just a little tip there.
90 to 200 milligrams of CoQ10 is an efficacious dose. So if there's at least 90 to...
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't know for sure, but potentially there's definitely, it's probably less than 300.
Yep. Works a little bit with the brain health, like I said, with the focus. And then the secondary aspect of it is you'll also have it for inflammatory reasons. So it's great to have if, obviously, again, big in the powerlifting community, strongman, stuff like that, where inflammation is pretty rampant. So it's good to have in there. A lot of times you'll see CoQ10 mixed in with fish oil, especially with the EPA and the DHA. The DHA is going to be that fatty acid essentially for the brain. The brain, I think, is comprised of about 70% of DHA, and the EPA is more so for the joint health. So they always pair CoQ10 in there because it kind of doubles up with both of those and works well with it. So it's nice to have that in an energy drink. It's not typically seen a lot of the times when it's thrown into an energy drink. Typically, you'll see like the alpha GPC or the nootropics in there. I'm speaking extremely fast because I've just pounded a couple of different energy drinks, so now I'm just rambling. But essentially, long story short, it's nice to have in there. It's something that separates themselves from a different piece or a different brand.
Science.
Yeah.
All right.
My MS wasn't for nothing.
Honestly, should we crack this bad boy open?
Let's
pop that top.
Ooh, I like that. Little fizzy. Pink can or pink tab. Now, I know this is going to be a little bit clear, which I like. I'm excited. My mouth is watering a little bit. I really, really, really like this. I think it's a great can.
Smell it a little bit from here.
Oh, you can just smell the pink and blue gummy worm.
It smells good for sure.
I just smell the mic again. I got to get used to holding the mic instead of having it on me. We got new mics, so that way our sound comes through a little bit clearer. Obviously, we touched on this in the last episode. We redid the studio, got a couch, kind of made it look a little bit prettier. Obviously, we have new mics, we have a new soundboard, so that way we can kind of make it a better quality production. So if you want to keep this up and you want to make it something that lasts, like the video, subscribe to us on YouTube. Everything will soon be available on iTunes now that we have the capability of doing this, and Spotify, so that way you can also listen wherever you are. Rate, review, subscribe to us on all those platforms, anywhere you can get that. But the full video, that's going to be on the YouTubes. So obviously, I think we should get our inaugural first set.
Yep. Let's do it. Here we go.
That's damn good. That's damn good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. Sean Connery voice. That's good stuff, mate. I already know. Like I said at the start of this, it was one of my top 2 flavors. It's getting a high review. The ingredients are good. It's priced fairly well. The can looks great. But most of all, it tastes phenomenal.
Banger.
That's a banger. And I know bangers.
Yeah, that is really good. The one thing I like about Rain is like it has the right amount of carbonation. Because there's a right and a wrong amount.
You can either undercarbonate it.
I think they do it about as perfect as you can.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic level of carbonation, enough to get that the mouth feel, essentially.
Yep.
Feel it in your mouth.
Yep. Pause.
Yeah, but it's not overcarbonated to where it's like it's gonna burn your throat, kind of going down like a Sprite would, like from McDonald's. That would obliterate a peasant in 1720s. But it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good stuff.
There's a couple things I want to get into.
Oh boy, what do we got now?
I've been gearing up for some of this stuff, and we always forget to talk about it.
Okay, let's hear it.
Conspiracy theories.
Oh, okay. I can get down with that.
I'm gonna rattle off a couple, and I want
might be here for about 6 hours.
I want your opinion on them, then we'll discuss them. Number 1, is the Earth flat?
I don't think the Earth's flat. No.
I do.
Oh God, I gotta get.
No, I'm kidding. That shit is round. There's a reason that the Earth apexes and you can't see from one side to the other. Did you ever see the flat earther who tried to prove the Earth was flat? And they actually proved it was round, and he was like, "The study was just wrong."
No,
it was like the light test.
All I think about when I hear flat Earth is Kyrie Irving, because he thought the freaking Earth was flat, and I'm like, dude,
he missed out on some big things because he has some weird opinions.
Yeah, I was gonna say just couldn't shut up.
The other one,
Yeah, that's wild. The flat Earth is crazy. That reminds me of like
I feel like
you ever watch Narnia or
Yeah.
like read the books or listen to the books?
Yeah.
Where they're like trying to go to the edge of the Earth.
Yeah.
And like I just had this vision in my head where it was like, okay, like you get to the edge and it's just like a waterfall into like nothing. Yeah, it's like yeah.
real great idea. I'm sure that's how gravity works.
Yep, 100%.
But I feel like, so here's my theory on the flat Earth theory. A lot of conspiracy theories are out there, and I feel like they throw in some dumb ones to make the real ones seem like they're not.
Seem like they're actually more believable.
So like, for the longest time until they released the CIA papers, JFK.
That was a big one, right?
Everyone believed that JFK was killed by the CIA.
Yep.
Or the FBI, one of the two of them. But
Bill thought it was like the driver, right?
yeah, yeah.
Right into the coat.
But like that one had some kind of backing that did. Who's the guy that did it?
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, that Lee Harvey Oswald
Was
didn't act alone. Maybe he was just a stand-in for it, and like that he was like his girlfriend took a picture with him at the gun the day before, but like it had some kind of believability to it. And now we obviously have those papers and those are released and we know. But do they introduce things like the flat Earth in order to knock down where it's like, oh, you're a conspiracy? Yeah, flat Earth is a conspiracy too. That you should believe that, so they stop believing all those other ones.
Yeah, that is an interesting take.
Like, is
It's
it introduced
also-
to bring down the efficacy of the other things that you might have?
Right. It's also like it depends on what we're talking about. Like flat Earth, like I don't know if people's lives are really going to change a whole lot, regardless of how shaped the Earth is. But like,
Yeah.
when a president gets killed, that's like a big deal, and people want to like rationalize
Why
the fact
or
that
how?
like the FBI just and the CIA just kind of didn't see that coming. Like, oh yeah, open convertible in a parade with a president, nothing could
In
go
the
wrong.
middle of like the most visible piece in Dallas.
Yeah, exactly. Like they don't want to have to confront the fact that like people whose job is to protect the president just overlooked that completely, and
Yeah.
that hey, that was on them. So it's a little more believable in that sense. But yeah, what's another one?
The moon landing?
Oh gosh, the moon landing. See,
That one's a little.
that one's like if I'm gonna believe one, that
That
could-
might be it.
because. Like I do want to believe that we've been to the moon, and like
I
obviously
think we've been to the moon since.
Okay, but when though? They never talk about going to the moon. Like they
That's
always
true.
that's the thing that gets me is like
So-
maybe I'm just not up to date, but like obviously I know we've been to space. Like there's people living in space at
Yeah.
the space station, like doing the research and whatever they do, doing space stuff. But like you never hear about like we
have a
went to
moon
the
station.
moon. Yeah. Or like other countries even going to the moon. They're like, oh, like there's nothing there. There's nothing to see. It's like, okay, but why wouldn't no other country wants to say they've been on the moon? It's so weird.
So like I do believe we went to the moon. I trust them on that.
Yeah.
Here's where it gets a little finicky. When did we go to the moon?
When did we go to the moon? Because what was it, 1969, right?
69 or something like that.
Something like that.
What other global not war, but I don't that kind of gave it away, but what global thing was happening during the time that we went to the moon?
It's like a civil rights movement, right? Or
Cold War.
Cold War, okay. Civil rights movement was a little
Who
bit
else
earlier.
was also going to the moon during that time?
Russia, right? Trying to.
So
Because did they ever go to the? That's the thing. That's the thing I have a hard time believing. Like we made it to the moon, then everyone else was like, just there's no point.
that's
we
the other
just
thing.
folded. Like,
Did multiple people go to the moon, or did no one go to the moon? But we faked it in order to say that we could accomplish that. So we're the more sophisticated. We essentially won this aspect of the Cold War in order for that to happen.
yeah, but like because it was all about the space race, right?
Yeah.
Russia was the first into space, right?
Yeah,
we were
with
the
the
first to the
Spetsnaz.
moon, but
They
yeah.
had the Spetsnaz or not the Sputnik.
Yeah.
Sputnik satellite. They got it up there. And then they were like, oh, well, we'll one up them because that gives us a leg up essentially in the Cold War. Now, I'm not saying they did or they didn't, but I'm just saying to question something because that's when you start to think. Did we do this as not a false flag, but a propaganda stunt in order to say, oh, we are the superpower. We were capable of doing it. You weren't. Or did we just go to the moon and we were the ones that did it?
I don't know. It's really...
It's just such a complex one, and I don't want to like talk out of turn and be like, and lo and behold, there was probably, you know, there's that team that went to the moon, and they were like, dude, it was such a big accomplishment, and we're just like two idiots on a couch, like that never happened.
Didn't do it.
Yeah,
Picture it didn't happen. Like,
but they did have pictures, and it's like
it's true. Like,
and people argue on behalf of like, well, how did you get a camera into space, right? And this and that.
okay, how do you build a freaking rocket? Like, that's what you're asking?
But here's the thing: they're saying like, oh, that was shot in like, you know,
With a green screen or something?
You don't think that our government has access to technology that we won't have access to for 10 to 15, maybe 30 years?
Or will never have, potentially.
So you're telling me that they didn't have that back then where they could go to the moon and put a camera up there and videotape it and have air support and life support up there? Yeah, that one's such a big one where it's like you can't really choose a side. You kind of err on the side of believing it because it's like, yeah, I would believe that we have the technology to go up there and do this. Why would they fake it? But then there's like the aspect of the outside factors of like, well, you had the Cold War, that Russia had just launched Sputnik into space successfully, and it's like they don't want to look like they're not as strong or potentially weak in comparison, so they kind of do that. But it's like, I don't know, man. I'm erring on the side of belief that we went to the moon.
I believe it too. I believe it too. That reminds me of like obviously we know like the nuclear warfare, right? That's like everyone's like worst nightmare.
Yep.
And like when I went to, of all places, when me and my mom would go out to South Dakota to go to like the Black Hills and like the Badlands, and there's this pretty cool like monument out there. It's called the Minuteman Missile Site.
Oh yeah.
Where like, you know, basically like they had a bunch of missiles stored there because it's like the middle of nowhere, South Dakota, so it's actually a pretty good place to have them. And like, you could just kind of see like people had to like live down there and like do maintenance on these missiles. It's just kind of crazy to think about. Like you could launch some, like there's these different locations across the entire country, and then there's a button in Washington D.C. that says launch this missile there, which is so crazy. And like you can see like what countries have like the most nuclear missiles. It's like U.S., Russia, North Korea, and then like everyone else is like way behind. But kind of I don't know, it's wild. You know, you said just having technology that the government has that we like may never have, or it's going to be delayed for us. It's crazy to think about, just like the stuff that we don't know, that like if you like working for like FBI, CIA,
they're
Pentagon,
so privy to like,
I know, but like you can't talk about it with anybody.
Yeah,
but like
it's got to be like the best kept secret that you just want to blurt out to somebody just to be like, yo, we have this.
Yeah, like I don't know what I'm trying to think of what it would like to like be in the know about all that stuff. Like, would it be good or would it be like,
this is
I wish I'd never learned about this because now I just hate everything.
Well, that's like when they released the fact that aliens were real, right? Or that like there was, not that they were real, but like that there was truly unidentified flying objects and things like that. Versus like, oh, it's just hearsay, it's conspiracy theory. It's like the government was like, no, like I think that was like 2021 or 2022 when they were like
Area 51.
Yeah, do you think Area 51's real? I
mean, it's definitely like a real...
It's a real base.
Yeah,
like, do you think
it's in, what is it, Roswell, New Mexico?
Yeah.
It's weird. New Mexico's kind of been I want to say popular site, because that's where they put the first atomic bomb, right?
Yeah.
Just because there's so much open desert that isn't going to do
Oppenheimer.
anything. Yeah.
That's where they tested the first site out.
It's definitely a base. I mean,
which is also a cool story. Like, if you haven't watched Oppenheimer, the fact that we were in a world war with Germany at the time, at, you know, the Allies and the Axis, and... I think the coolest thing is like they took the most I don't want to say destroyed culture within the Jewish people, and they found the best scientists that also happen to be Jewish people, and then they were like, or of the Jewish faith. I don't want to talk out of turn, and they were like, we're gonna create the first atomic bomb as like. Not only of like, oh, we're super smart, we can do this, but we also have this like little like inkling of like spite in us that we can do it. And it's, I don't know, that was super, like I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Being a spiteful person, I was like, that's sick.
That is interesting. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously it's definitely real. It's so, you know what that reminds me of is like, get religious here, but like people talk about like Jesus, who like, he was an actual person, right? But it's like, did he do all the stuff that the Bible says he does? Area 51, real place, right? Did all the stuff that people say happened actually happen there?
Yeah.
That's kind of like what I think of.
Yeah. So it's just,
Like,
I think it's
real
just
in a sense, but like to what extent?
to what extent yeah,
does it go
yeah.
to?
No, I see that.
Reminds me of what's that place like that supposedly had all those like UFOs, like Skywalker Ranch or
Skywalker Ranch, yeah.
Skinwalker in like Utah or
That
something, or Colorado, or
I think it was
Nevada, somewhere
either southern Nevada or northern Utah.
yeah,
One of the
somewhere
two.
somewhere in
One of
the
those, like,
Mountain West region.
Yeah, but they had like not only UFO stuff, but they had like
spirits and
like spirit
ghosts.
sightings and stuff like that. And it's like believed to be like one of the most haunted. You can stay there now. Like you can like elect to like go there like a hotel. It's crazy. I kind of want to do it. That'd be a sick Bad Boys episode. So if you ever get the money for it, just crushing energy drinks, being like, I hear the spirits.
No one else is hearing the ghost voices.
Bro, you stop taking your medication.
Because I'm here.
It blocked the voices. Although to swag.
Yep. Shout out.
There's one conspiracy theory that I am sold on, though. Mattress stores. Never see anyone go in or out.
I saw you put that in our shared document, and I wondered what that was about. What is it about?
So the idea behind it is that you never see anyone go into a mattress store and buy a mattress. There, especially.
It's always to waste time when you're waiting for your car to get its oil changed.
Yeah, you're just going in there. Or even when you go to like a furniture store, no one's in the mattress department. Mattresses last 30 plus years or whatever it is. Or nowadays you can buy one from anywhere online and have it shipped with a memory foam or a cooling gel or whatever it is. How do they stay in business? And why is there so many of them? Money laundering fronts.
You think so?
Yes.
That's the
Yes, I think they're
That's
money
the
laundering
shtick?
fronts for whoever is in charge of owning that store. They're laundering money through some type of illegal operation.
It's interesting. That reminds me of when we were waiting for that table at
Silito?
and went in there and they were like, "Oh, you want to buy a mattress?" We're like, "No, we're like waiting
just
for
chilling,
a table."
dude.
Like, does everyone that comes in here like want to buy a mattress? I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I think they're fronts because you think about the inventory that they have to have in there,
There's mattresses everywhere.
and then there's probably some in the back
Yeah.
that they have to ship out, and maybe they make 1 to 2 sales a month. I can't imagine that people are.
I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things where like you just don't see it happen, so you think it doesn't happen.
Maybe
Because like my mom got a new mattress probably a couple of years ago, but that's like, you know, when you need a new mattress and you're going in there and you're probably going to make a decision that day. Like she went to the store and was like, okay, I need a new mattress, ordered one that day.
exactly.
So maybe they get. It depends. It's such a. I don't spend a lot of time in mattress stores.
But they're also
so
never full of anybody. And I can't imagine that, mattresses cost what? At minimum $2,000?
Yeah, it depends
I
on-
can't imagine someone's walking in and they're not financing or in some way, shape, or form, especially with the, like, currently, like, how inflation's going and everything like that. I can't imagine that someone just got $2,000 on hand and they're going to give them cash. You probably got to do paperwork like you do a car or anything like that. There's no one in these stores. Not a soul. Wait,
Those
how
are
are
big,
you keeping?
Those are big buildings.
They're
Usually.
big buildings. A corporate lease is not cheap. You're paying, either $12 to $30 per square foot of whatever the corporate lease is, and those are minimum probably 10,000 square foot.
Minimum.
Not cheap. Like you got to sell a lot of mattresses, and then you're probably having 4 to 5 employees in there. Where's this money coming from? How is this happening?
I don't know. That's a. I hadn't heard that one before. What? So you think it's what, like drugs? Gotta be
Either
right.
drugs, illicit gambling, whatever it might be, typical like mafia-esque, 1940s type of thing, whatever it is, or even
Blood diamonds from Sierra Leone.
whatever.
Great Kanye West song, by the way.
Yeah, but whatever it is, I think
Also a great movie. What is that?
that's when he hit it in his toe, right?
I'm thinking the one with Leonardo DiCaprio. It's called like, I think it's just called like Blood Diamond or something. Super good movie. Like they're in like Sierra Leone and like, yeah, I don't know. I remember they were like hiding the diamonds in like the goats like fur and stuff like that.
There was
Great
one.
movie.
There was one I saw, and the dude, they were like obviously going through the diamonds in the water, and he saw it, and he's like, "Oh my gosh!" So he put it in his toe. It was like a $2 million diamond, and he stuck it between his toes. And then he was like, "I need to go to the bathroom," because obviously it's not like a clean operation where you can just go to the bathroom whenever you want.
Yeah.
And they started like they looked in his mouth, they looked in his gums, they had him open it.
That might be,
hands and stuff.
yeah. That might
Is that
be
the same one?
That might be. I'm trying to think of. I gotta look it up now. I'm pretty sure it's just called Blood Diamond.
I think so. And yeah, so like he put it between his toes and then he buried it. And then all of a sudden, like while he was burying it, he thought he was going to get caught. And then there was like shots fired and everything. And they were like getting raided.
And then did they like take him back to like try to
and find the diamond?
Yes.
It's a massive diamond. I think.
Yes. This guy was it? That guy. Yeah.
It's the same movie. Yeah, it's the same movie.
Super good movie.
Great
I
movie.
like it.
Leonardo doesn't miss much.
Yeah, Solomon Vandy. That's the guy.
Yeah,
that's the guy.
What else was he in? He always plays a very proper type of guy too. I think he's a good actor.
Movies. Here we go. Oh yeah, Rebel Moon, Gladiator 2.
Oh yeah.
Never Back Down, Gladiator.
Oh, Never Back Down was a good movie.
A Quiet Place 2, Legend of Tarzan. He's been in a lot of them.
Yeah.
Rebel Moon.
That was but yeah, that's kind of that's what I was thinking with like the mattress stores of like they're a
little sketch. That's interesting.
Little sketch.
Hadn't heard that one before, but
that's like there's a person, she does social media and she's like, I only go to, like her whole shtick on Instagram and the reels is like, I'm going, like the next 400 days, I'm going to only restaurants or stores that have been caught in some kind of scandal. And she goes in and she went to this one that was like, it was in like Brooklyn and they do only like rice pudding. And nobody's in there. And the owner, they said it wasn't, adjacent to the business, but he got caught for illegal gambling rings. And it's like, all right, so like the owner got caught for that, and it's not with the business because obviously, you said two separate entities, whatever it is. But how are you keeping a pudding business in Brooklyn on the street with a large footprint where it's not cheap and nobody's in there? How are you keeping that afloat?
I don't know. That's interesting.
Especially in a restaurant
like
business.
The Ozarks said show.
Yeah. Especially in a restaurant business, like restaurants, for the most part, my mom owned a bar and grill, and basically, if you have like 4 or 5 bad days in a row, you start looking at it like we're in trouble because there's so much overhead, so much inventory to constantly keep in fresh ingredients and things like that, and it's so expensive to get that stuff. You can't afford to have downtime, which is why a lot of them closed during the pandemic because they couldn't afford it because they couldn't keep up. Like, so 4 or 5 bad days could do it. So it's like, what happens when a business is completely empty for 2 months? You're either funneling your own money into it, trying to find money elsewhere, or you're closing up shop, or you're opening up loans in order to keep it open.
Or you're laundering money.
Just like a mattress store or that pudding shop. But yeah, I was like, at that point, I was like, wow, like, it made me really think about the mattress stores again. Because it's stuff's not cheap. How do you keep that going? How do you keep that rolling?
I gotta look up some other conspiracy theories.
Dude, there was a couple. I was on a deep dive the other night. Obviously, there's like the creepypastas of like conspiracy theories of like, do these like mythological creatures exist? One of them that I absolutely love, and I like the feeling of being scared, so I'll be on YouTube. And it's really popular right now, but have you ever heard of like backrooms? Mm-mm. So backrooms is the concept of, it's a nostalgic place that you haven't been, but you feel that sense of nostalgia, but it's very just kind of like bare and weary. So like they play some creepy music with it and they show you like pictures. And it's like, oh, this is kind of like a rundown, shutdown idea of, is that the conspiracy theory about Walt Disney that he's like still alive in Frozen?
It says he created Frozen as a distraction. But yeah, long discussed the conspiracy that Walt Disney used cryogenics technically to freeze himself when he died.
Yeah.
That I've heard that one before. Have you heard?
Yeah.
Oh,
there's also one that
COVID was engineered by the media. Ooh.
Yeah,
I mean
that one might get us canceled.
Earth sucked into a black hole. I hadn't heard that one before.
Yeah, there's also a conspiracy theory at Disney World that like the town hall at like Magic Kingdom or whatever, like his body's like in the cryogenic like up there.
Oh,
which is
there's no way.
Yeah, there's no way they would. If they did that, there's no way they're like, yeah, he's like right there.
The Denver International Airport is the Illuminati's
headquarters.
I haven't heard that one.
Dude, so I went to Denver my first trip with Team Builder, and like it's a weird airport. There's like gargoyles just everywhere. There's like secret hallways. Like you can get lost really easy. Yeah. So like, and it's always under construction. So
Really?
it's super weird. It's a
Earth
sick
is-
airport though, by the way. Like,
Earth is hollow, world is flat.
yeah. But anyway, the back rooms.
Bigfoot's real.
Yeah, the back rooms
Has
is
to
it's
be.
super weird. Like if you just look up like back rooms,
Nazis have a secret base in Antarctica.
another typical one too that's like they like do it in like old like 1990s malls where you're walking around. It's just this desolate place, and then there's just creatures back there. Something's hunting
The
you.
back rooms. Fictional concept.
Yeah, so you want to give a
Originated
little.
from a creepypasta posted on 2019 4chan thread. Oh, going to 4chan. That's crazy.
Woo!
I just
Shut
watched,
down.
I just watched a video about some 4chan stuff the other day, actually. One of the best known examples of the internet aesthetic of liminal spaces, which depicts usually busy locations as unnaturally empty. The backrooms was first described as a maze of empty office rooms that could only be entered by no clipping out of reality. Interesting.
Yeah. So there's like videos on there too. Like they've made some video games about the back rooms on there. That it's this like fictional thing, and someone's like hunting you, but either way, or it's like you're in a, you're in like an old water park, right? And you go down this, you go down in the pool, and all of a sudden you swim through this hole. Yeah, like something's like hunting you.
That's creepy as hell.
It's really cool. Like if you want to get scared at like late night, flip on a backrooms video and just watch it. It's super messed up, but that was one of them that it's like a conspiracy theory that it exists, even though like you can go to like an old mall. Like there's one in Ohio in Cincinnati, and it feels like a back room because it's shut down. It's only kept open by like there's like 3 stores or 3 businesses that are still open, but the whole rest of the mall just feels like a back room.
Some of these conspiracies are pretty bad.
Oh, dude, there's a lot of
Bill Gates is making fake snow.
Doesn't every snow mountain make fake snow?
That's true.
They're like, oh, it's March.
Amelia Earhart was eaten by crabs. Yikes.
That's a weird one.
Loch Ness Monster lives in Scotland. Probably not. The 5G thing, I remember that.
Putting 5 Gs in my brain.
One of them said the Titanic didn't sink.
That's a stretch. I think a little too many people. kicked the bucket.
Sirens were responsible for shipwrecks.
Is that a?
It's like a Greek mythology type of deal.
No, I was gonna say like, is that just a mythological creature idea, or is that a conspiracy theory?
I mean, it says it's on here.
I mean, yeah, sirens were like mermaid-esque creatures that had like a very like melodic song that they would sing to you, and they would pull in people and like destroy boats and stuff. So
Oh, God. Queen Elizabeth I was a man. That one's throw you for a loop.
Really?
Some believe
Yeah.
that Queen Elizabeth I died as a child, and to prevent the end of the royal line was replaced by it with a young boy.
that's a weird one.
This theory is said to explain why the ruler remained chaste throughout her reign. Now, that one's okay.
Okay. Obviously, there's the 9/11 one of it. Was it an inside job? Like that's a typical one that everyone
The
throws
abominable
around.
snowman lives in Asia.
Moon landing hoax, obviously. Oh, there was one about Paul McCartney that he died in like 66 and just was replaced by like a body double. That one's weird.
I gotta go into this Queen Elizabeth one. This one's kind of
There's a satanic panic one that's in there about like 1930s, but that makes me think of the Sons of Sam. Did you ever watch that documentary? It's like a satanic cult. The guy went around like killing and terrorizing in New York.
can't say I have.
Yeah, it's a really good documentary. Super weird. The guy was clearly deranged and some kind of messed up in the head, but it goes back to like satanic cult kind of things.
Yeah.
Cults are weird, dude. Cults.
Oh.
That's a.
We go down a rabbit hole of those. Those documentaries are kind of interesting though.
Oh, dude, I will watch one of those any day of the week. Did you know that Rogan's Comedy Mothership, his comedy club, he originally had a space that was owned by like a cult.
Really?
Yeah, and he was going to buy it, and then it ended up being like too much with the idea of having to renovate the space and like expand it and everything, and he finally just found where it is now and then just chose that, and it was like an old movie theater.
Yeah.
I love this sour gummy worm. It's so good. I already have my review, and it's just...
Yeah, this is top tier.
Oh, dude.
We can go ahead and you want to go ahead and at least rate them?
Yeah, let's rate it.
What are you rolling with? You gonna rock with like I'm thinking 9.5 plus for you.
So my perfect 10, we'll do an episode on it later. But, so this can't be a 10 because there's only one perfect 10.
Right.
9.5. 9.
Oh man,
It's that good.
that's up there for
It's
you.
up there, man.
That's
That is
up there
so
for you.
good. It's something you can drink every single day, and it still has a very strong and sweet kind of flavor. But man, it's just so good. I could
Yeah.
do that every day and not get sick of it.
Yeah. I feel the same. I can't go higher. The highest I've rated so far is the Ghost Citrus. I had 9.5 on that. This rivals that for me. I'm gonna go a 9.3. It's
Okay.
really good.
Okay.
I mean, that's my second favorite all time. That's even more than the Ghost Swedish Fish. So
Oh, yeah.
and that's a banger as well. And I know bangers.
And I know bangers.
So yeah, that's delicious.
Oh, you know what you just made me think of when you said Denver Airport? I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast, but when I was on on my last flight to Chicago, there was this dude across the aisle from me. Just
snoring.
I told you about this, but so I had my AirPods in, noise canceling, and I was blaring
Doesn't
loud
matter.
stuff. Did not
Just-
matter. I'm in the aisle seat. He's in the opposite window seat, and I'm sitting there and I'm like listening. I'm like, what is that noise? So I like,
Dude's just chopping wood over
and
there.
I just hear.
just cranking on the lawnmower.
I was like, and I put my headphone back in for like 10 more minutes. I hear it through the headphones, and I'm like, I take it out,
Why?
and I take it out. I'm like, yo, somebody wake this guy up. He's gonna croak on the airplane. And I was like, yo, can you wake him up real quick? Like, that is so loud. And he's like, no, he's sleeping. And I was like, no.
I know.
Wake him up.
He's like, dude, he's in a slumber for hibernation.
Dude, he's like a bear.
Yeah, dude's been sleeping for 3 months. That's crazy. That's also terrible.
It irritated me. And then the other thing that irritated me, I really noticed this yesterday when I was going to the stores. Sorry, I'm into peeves now. But I cannot stand when someone doesn't pick their feet up when they walk. When they
just dragging.
They drag. Obviously, if you have health issues or whatever, but like if you're just like kicking your foot and like slapping the heel, pick your feet up.
Yeah.
You're just lazy.
And you're gonna wear your shoes out real quick.
Yeah. God, I was in the store and I was like, I heard it and I looked over. It was exactly who I thought it was. And I was like,
It was
God,
exactly what I thought.
just this lazy person. And I was like, oh, just grotesque and is like just not put together. Did not look like they were gonna go out in public. And I was like, bro, order GoPuff or whatever it is. They can sponsor us.
What the hell's GoPuff?
It's like DoorDash, but for like they have like a warehouse and it's like snacks and like you small utilities like toothbrush, toothpaste, stuff like that. You can just order it straight to your door, or just like it was at Walmart. Order Walmart delivery. It's like $4.99 for a delivery, or you can have unlimited deliveries for a month if you like just get a membership through them. But like, if you don't want to be there, don't be there. Just don't do it. It pissed me off so much.
I was gonna say, damn, is you okay?
I was going in on it. I don't know. It irritated me.
That's unfortunate. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah. The whole world is out to get me. It's just a victim mindset.
Everything sucks, and none of it's my fault.
Everything sucks.
Yep.
The only thing that's good in the world. Meanwhile, I'm not.
Yikes. Oh man. Yeah, that's tough. You want to talk about the vape? The vape guy?
Oh, dude.
While we're on the subject, we might as well get it all out.
Dude, if you want nicotine, get your pouch, be a man, chew, or smoke a cigarette, whatever it is. And I get like there's some healthier alternatives. There's obviously not healthy alternatives, whatever. I can't stand vapes. You just look like you're sucking on a USB or like a hard drive. Number one. Number two, it's the most foul smell. I don't care what your flavor is. It's the most foul smelling thing. And if I walk, good one. If I walk out of a store and immediately get hit by cotton candy blitz, I'm gonna
Root beer float.
I'm in a rage of fury. Because number one, I hate cotton candy. And that's like the most probably popular flavor for any of those vapes. And then you just walk through like all that and it just cakes on your face.
Fumes.
And I'm
Literal
just like
fumes.
It was exactly who you would think would be vaping. It was like tall, scrawny dude, real greasy glasses. Just looks like he just played 12 hours of World of Warcraft. Great game, don't get me wrong, but like hasn't showered. And he just was like right in front of the door.
He was just standing there
Like he was like trying to prepare himself to go inside.
till this is Walmart or what?
This was at Harris Teeter. Like not a bummy grocery store by any means. They're
Way
expensive.
too nice for you.
And I was
big
just
guy.
like, what are you doing? Do you need to mentally prepare to go grocery shopping?
Try doing that. I feel like a Dollar General is more that vibe. They're a vape guy.
Yeah. Like, if you have to suck that down
Mentally
Pause.
prepared.
to go get some cheese and eggs, reevaluate your life. Because what is happening? What went wrong where you're like, I need this right now?
Man, that's Man, I'm not even sure what to think of that.
Your whole thing is like, get me going and then just watch me go.
Honestly,
You're riling me up here.
I'm trying to just wrap my head around like having to hype yourself up to do a daily activity of living.
Something that doesn't require any thought other than like, oh, I wrote down what my grocery list is and I'm going to go inside.
Yeah, that's rough.
Or like, if you need it that bad, you might need to quit. If it's like you're incapable of performing an action that you have to do this, you're that psychologically dependent on it.
Yeah.
God, I wonder, psychologically dependent on a substance?
Couldn't be us. Is there any more in there?
Little bit.
Little bit.
Little bit.
Just take a little bit.
Just take a little bit.
Just
We
press
killed that whole can.
Yeah.
So good. That's why I got a 9.9. That's why I got a 9.9.
Yep, it's good stuff.
Great stuff. Good brand. Local brand.
Good guy.
Good guy. Local guy.
Nice guy.
Nice guy, but. Yeah. Should we wrap this one up?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Take us out.
Yeah, banger energy drink, Rain sour gummy worm. Would definitely recommend. Make sure if you want to support the podcast, subscribe to the channel. Go ahead, like, comment down below any other energy drinks that you would like to see reviewed on the channel. Any other topics you'd like covered. Really just any topic at this point. We go conspiracy theories.
Yeah, we'll go into anything because we'll research it. That's what we do in our free time. This controls our life in our free time because we love doing it, and even if we get a couple viewers, it's fun for us to do. So
Yep, we'll just go down rabbit holes.
Give us the rabbit holes to go down to.
Yeah, definitely do all that stuff. Follow us on Instagram, French_fit40.
B Shakusky, BSZUTKOWSKI on Instagram.
Yep, we'll leave those links down in the
Description.
bio. Yep.
They're in the bio already, so if you want to go over there, definitely. Oh, if you're interested in looking up and learning a little bit more about different topics, I did just release a speed course. That'll also be linked in the bio. Definitely goes over a lot of contextual speed within field sports, so acceleration, max velocity mechanics, things like that. So if you're less into the fitness or energy drink realm and you're a little bit more inclined to look towards the sports performance route, or if you just want to know a little bit more, got a bundaroo on there, so it'll be fun. But I'll leave that in the link as well.
Yep. People forget that's what we actually do with our lives.
Yeah.
As I say, we actually have real jobs.
Unfortunately, this does not pay the bills yet, but it could if you subscribe, and then we can get some ad revenue.
Yep. And buy about 6 t-shirts and a hoodie.
Yeah. Buy about 6 t-shirts, get one for every day of the week. Thank you to all the homies who came through and bought some stuff for us. It's super cool to see when we see those in the wild. Saw Gabe today and his. That was exciting.
Icy Blue. Bevboys.com.
BEVBOIS.com.
Yep.
There'll be new items on there pretty soon. We just finished some new mock-ups for those, and we'll get them into the store, and that way you guys can have some more gear, and we can make a little bit of money from each. Not much, but
don't worry about it. Just need that free promo, baby.
Yep. Plug it.
All right.
But,
appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to subscribe down below, and we'll see you next time. Peace.